Over the years, we've had the privilege of hosting hundreds of guests from around the world. We've learned so much from them. Here are some of their stories. It was a cold, rainy day when Leah showed up at our house. She had waited forever for her taxi to arrive and was soaking wet. The poor girl was so cold, it took her a while to warm up. She was starving, overwhelmed, and so exhausted. I sat with her as she had something to eat. Later, as she was preparing to go to sleep, I made her some hot apple cider and spent some time with her, reassuring her. Leah was a student and had come to stay in New York with relatives until she finished her schooling. Her cousins lived like royalty, with maids at their beck and call and nannies taking care of the children. Although the food was the tastiest she'd ever had and her bed the most luxurious she had ever slept in, Leah felt alone and uncared for. Determined for her stay in New York to be meaningful, she had reached out to Chabad, who put her in touch with my Lubavitch friend Fruma, and that's how she found me. Leah stayed with us for several weeks, during which she tried finding a job. She was very grateful and very helpful. One evening, I was invited to be the guest speaker at a fundraising dinner, and as I was leaving, Leah asked if she could join. When I arrived, the person in charge approached me. "The turnout is much smaller than we expected," she whispered. "We were hoping that this event would bring in our desperately needed funds. Please, can you inspire them?" I told her I would do my best, but reminded her it was not in my control how generous they would be. I spoke with intensity, reminding them of the power of each individual and how every contribution, big or small, makes a difference. As I was finishing up, Leah walked onto the stage and asked if she could say a few words. She stood there, holding the mic, silent. The audience shifted uncomfortably. It seemed as if she'd lost her nerve to speak. But then, slowly, she began to tell her story. She spoke with courage and quiet passion. She described how she had traveled from so far, surrounded by so many people, yet felt so alone. She spoke about how when she arrived, she lived in luxury, her every whim catered to, but felt invisible. The despair in going into the unknown to stay with people that she'd never met, arriving to complete strangers, and finally feeling like she was home and no longer alone. Yisrael is family, she said. We are all family. We need each other. The women in the audience were very moved by her words, and the event turned out to be way beyond anyone's expectations. Leah eventually found a job, graduated, and then moved back home. She reaches out occasionally, mainly just to talk to the kids. She misses them. She taught me a life lesson. One can have so much, yet feel so empty and alone. Sometimes it's the small things, done with care and compassion, that can have the greatest impact. Because there is no such a thing as an insignificant act of kindness. And together, my friends, we can change the world.